For us today, we're going to be launching our International Business Forum in Malaysia. And to do that, to officiate the event today, we have none other than our International President, Datuk T.S. Abdul Razak Malik. So I'll be passing the mic to him now, sir. The mic is over to you.
Thank you, Reshma. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tuan Haji Ramli, President CILT Malaysia and International Vice President for Southeast Asia. My brother Finbar Cleary from Ireland, International Vice President for Europe, Central Asia and Middle East. And also the chairman of the International Business Forum. Haji Abi Sofyan, secretary to the International Business Forum and member of International Management Committee. I saw Waris there. Welcome, Waris. Chanaka, Maitri Atane, and Elvin, and Dato Amin, you know. Yeah, everybody. Nasir, Ravindran, John, Azam, yeah, everybody. Yeah. CLTM, Management Council, of course, people like Faiz, Reshma, and team, ladies and gentlemen. Zawiya also there, sorry. A very good morning to all of you. I'm grateful to the organizing team.
It's afternoon here, sorry.
Yes, to the organizing team for inviting me to give an opening remark at CILT Malaysia IBF Business Networking Virtual Event. I would applaud CILT Malaysia President T.S. Haji Ramli Amir in leading his team to today's successfully organized event. Ladies and gentlemen, CILT is the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport and was founded in 1919 in the UK. As a chartered body, it is able to award professional qualifications and designations on individual members. Currently, we have more than 35,000 active professionals involved in our institute, including a healthy number of students who will be the industry leaders of the future. We operate in over 40 countries and cover a broad spectrum of technical areas covering logistics, transport, and supply chain management. First and foremost, it has been a challenging time for me and CILT all over. We started off full of anticipation and enthusiasm, 100-year celebration with many plans to prepare for the new era, making CILT relevant towards the next century after serving the industry and community for the past century. Early last year, 2020, I had lined up my 5 focus areas during my term as the international president. They are, firstly, inclusivity and care every member, CILT member countries to participate actively in supporting the mission and vision of CILT International by creating open platform and communications. It's about sharing and caring. Secondly, green technology and sustainability to move our logistics sector towards reducing their greenhouse gas emissions level, a responsibility and privileged role to play creating a friendly environment for the future of our planet and generation. Thirdly, exploring uncharted territories in the spirit of stronger together, expanding CILT into the Francophone countries, Arabs, Russian, Europe, Japanese, and Latin America. Fourthly, best practices in managing crises, create forum for exchange of ideas, responses, and solutions. CILT believes strict adhering to best practices in managing the crisis and disaster and adapting at the quickest time the new normal and the new reality as a way forward. Lastly, digitalization industry 4.0 will touch on the key mission of the Institute to provide accessible and high quality embracing digitalization and IR 4.0 in education and business globally. These are the essence of the new institute in the new era. Unfortunately, COVID-19 broke out in 2020 and with the lockdown imposed in all countries resulting to limited opportunities to interact with members. We responded quickly and efficiently, focused on our members and on equipping them with research and best practice, challenge everyone and every country to take actions and not simply close down operation. My stance is failure was not an option. In all the dooms and gloom this crisis has brought, it has also brought some opportunities. From March of 2020, the International Office started to plan on how to assist members affected by the pandemic. We came up with a plan called CILT Response to COVID-19, whereby International Business Forum was made one of the objectives. We also began running webinars and interviews collecting and collating the COVID-19 crisis response from 35 countries and sharing it through our bulletin. I'm happy to tell you that the plan works were well received by the branches and our members. Ladies and gentlemen, journey in 2021 and beyond is an interesting part of the survival of CILT International. The 5 focus areas need special attention from all branches and territories in CILT. To do that, we are in CILT focusing on key issues in global supply chain, sustainability, and the technology to reduce our impact on the environment, best practice in crisis and risk management, and embracing of digital technology to create effective solutions. As part of inclusivity and care for every members, sharing of expertise and opportunities, the idea of International Business Forum was set up to invite especially CILT members who are entrepreneurs and access to the more active in looking for business activities while establishing networking and expanding business abroad by way of setting up consortium and partnership among them and associates. IBF is a trusted channel for cross-country and cross-continent connection and matchmaking for businesses. To provide a world-class platform for corporate members of CILT to network, interact, and engage with each other, especially in cross-border trades in furtherance to the development and growth of CILT family globally. In our next international campaign on digitalization in September, we will hold webinars and one of the topics will be how digitalization support trade collaboration. We need to be ahead of applying it as tools to facilitate trade across nations and continents. Now, I will not take any more of your time. I will allow Haji Abi, CILT International Committee members and Secretary to the International Business Forum to introduce the aims, objective, benefit, and value that can be derived from IBF. With that, I would like to now take this opportunity to formalize the IBF Malaysia section by officiating it in today's event. Congratulations, IBF Malaysia. I'm sure our members are in the good and capable hands of the team here. Stay safe, stay healthy, stronger together. Thank you very much. Over to you, back, Rashmi.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful speech. Now we will have Haji Abi join us, who will give us an insight into IBF. Haji Abi, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Rashma and Dato. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon and also good morning to the participants what I call this today. I think it was an honor for me to be on the same platform with our international president, Dato Technologies Abdul Razak Malik, and also Tuan Haji Technologies Haji Ramli Amir, being the president of CILT Malaysia. I would like to thank the organizer, IBF Malaysia, for inviting me to be in this forum today or in this session. So I believe we have been hearing, since we are most of the members of the CILT, we have been hearing about this IBF for for quite a while now. So, sorry. So today, I don't want to talk like it's a briefing or webinar session. It's more like a conversation so that we could have opportunity to share our understanding of what IBF is all about. So I will briefly go over CILT in perspective and also the past year, what kind of challenges we have been facing. Just to put in context why IBF is critical or very important as far as CILT is concerned. And then, of course, at the end, I hope to share some suggestion for the way forward, especially for CILT, IBF in Malaysia. Okay, I guess this is just a brief introduction of myself. I'm an engineer by qualification. I've also managed to obtain a Bachelor of Jurisprudence from University of Malaya. So being an engineer, obviously I started off my career as an engineer in the construction industry, both as project owners, as contractors, and also later on involved in the consulting services. During that time also, I was involved, or I was the editor of the Institution of Engineers Malaysia, the monthly bulletin we call Juritra between 2009 and 2011. So as far as my logistics journey is concerned, I started off with the Klang Container Terminal, one of the first privatized terminal operator in Port Klang. And of course, towards later on, Klang Container Terminal became Northport Malaysia Berhad upon what we call this merger with another company, another port operator. Then this later on, from being an engineer, I managed to climb the ladder, so to speak, and became the CEO of Northport Malaysia Berhad. And then later on, 2 years after that, 2.5 years after that, I was appointed as the managing director of this NCB Holdings Group, Berhad, that an investment company really for Container National Berhad and Northport Malaysia Berhad. So of course, during the course of my journey there, I've attended a number of seminars, conferences, and but the most significant one, I guess, was this the port management seminar in Delft. That really set the foundation of port management for me. And then later on, I was also involved in the engineering management training in Antwerp. Then also the senior management program by Harvard Business School Alumni Club Malaysia. So then towards in 2015, I started to get involved in CILT Malaysia at the invitation of Dr. Razak. And then as council member, then what we call this later on in 2017 to 2019, I was elected as Secretary General. Then after that, I was also invited by Dr. Razak to join him at the International Management Committee in 2018 when we had our what I call this convention, international convention in Wrocław, Poland. And later, when I was based shortly in London, I was roped in to be part of his IBF Secretariat since 2019 with Mr. Finbar, who is the chairman of this IBF. So in terms of perspective, I think Dato has mentioned just now about CILT UK and CILT, how it operates now. I think it's almost 40 countries now across the world. We keep having a new members, CILT branches almost every 2-3 months, And I think in terms of individual membership, we have about 35,000 active members. So you can see that's a lot of, numbers, quite a big numbers, given we are spread all over the world. So suppose only 5% are interested in IBF, that is also considered a huge opportunities for those who want to grab those. So as CILT Malaysia in 1965, and of course the whole of CILT was focusing, or the core focus was educating professionals in the transport industry. So you may be a graduate in different, what I call this, industries, but when you are involved in the logistics and transport industry, I think there's no other place better than to be involved with, to be educated under the program of CILT. So one of these major highlight, I would say, from my point of view, is the annual convention. I think this is where, you know, members from all around the world gather every year, except for last year and this year, maybe we don't have yet. But the thing is, that was one of the highlight. My own experience is that was one of the highlight for CILT. And even at the local branch of CILT Malaysia, the annual convocation, we call convocation, is to me also the major highlight of the activities. So I mentioned the major highlights in terms of CILT International. We have the annual general meetings at branch level, we have every year. And as I mentioned just now, annual international convention, where we also have the AGM for CILT International. I think it's coming up next week or the week after. And where we have delegation meetings, where branches report whatever they have to the international management. And also during that program, there's an industry update by key speakers. And of course, in the old normal, we have the networking and technical visits by the delegates. So all in all, I mean, people go there with networking as the main, what you call this activity. There's one thing that's missing, the business aspect of CILT International. So I think this is where we look at it. I mean, Dato, having been involved with CILT for a long time, notice this gap in, you know, in terms of huge opportunity presented by CILT during convention, during conferences. For example, we have, I mean, CILT involved in this Africa conference and big conference organized by CILT China, for example, and also in other places like CILT Central Asia, you know. So while it's good to get together and refresh our mind, exchanging ideas, but the thinking is that it will be good or it will be better to move to the next step. So again, trades exhibition. I think now many conference organizers are looking at all this, trying to bring back normality to our COVID era. So again, the feeling will not be the same, I guess. So Dato has mentioned his 5 focus areas in 2020. I would just like to highlight one of these, which is the best practice in managing crisis, share and collaborate. So it so happened when this COVID is considered the mother of all crises, if I may say so, and it's rather timely for the international president to have this as one of the focus areas. So as we can see later, that the focus area, Dato also mentioned about having webinars and all this, all I believe is to assist members in managing crisis. So that's where, in terms of collaboration, is one of the, it's nothing new really, but it's a critical aspect of being a global organization, or in this case, it's in Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. because collaboration is nothing new, you know. I mean, these there are many what you call these organization that propose to have a collaboration or started off with a collaboration in mind. So in this case, I will just share briefly just how CILT responds to COVID-19. You know, for example, we have the focus, we have the priorities, and priorities are always the same. Membership, the second column, you must say. Finance, of course, you know, is goes without saying. You need to have finance to manage this through. But the bottom line is that under this membership and education, it says supporting our members, corporates, and partners in the crisis. So that's key. So when we talk about that and mention about IBF, this is how the top level of CILT management, including trustee, board of trustee, look at, develop, and implement International Business Forum. So IBF is really part of the response. As long as you know, COVID is there, I think this is work in progress. It's just a matter of how, whether we want to start early or we just wait and see. But how long can you wait? And I tell you, this kind of initiative, it doesn't happen overnight. It has to start as early as possible. So this is where, you know, I'll say, let's have a look or bring us back to maybe around March or April, when supply chain and COVID was very much part of our life. So, for example, supply chains struggle to adapt to this changing customers' behavior. Suddenly, you don't have breads on the shelf of the supermarket, or even toilet paper. You know, the famous hurrah, or you know, at one time everywhere. It doesn't. It's not only in Malaysia or in certain part of the world. It's almost the whole world. So what were the issues there? I don't want to go into the detail, but basically there's a need for technology to manage this, because in some places, or in most places, people cannot go to work. So if you are not relying on people, it's fine. But if you are relying on people, you need to find alternative. And of course, at the same breath, we are talking about IR 4.0, AI, and so on. This is even better, or the time is even now to act. So in terms of COVID-19, you can call it disruptions, like we used to have, for example, when e-commerce came to the scene, like how many retail business were affected, or e-hailing or Uber or whatever you call it at your place. When they came to the picture, taxi drivers were threatened, so to speak. I mean, their life was disrupted. But in this case, COVID-19 is, can we call it mother of all disruptions? Because the impact is not only a segment of the society, it's basically the whole country and the whole world. So the successful ones are those with people in that group collaborating across business silos to remove complexity at the intersection of speed manufacturing and high sales volume. So how do you balance that? Sometimes people alone could not do that. So this is where technology. So, but at the same time, we realize that wherever there is a threat, there will be an opportunity. So where do we go? Survival of the fittest. I mean, of course, things have changed since the last 14 months or 16 months. There are areas, or there are countries where things have started to come back to almost normal. You know, for example, in Europe, you know, people are allowed to go to the stadiums to watch sports and all this, you know. But in Malaysia, I think, unfortunately, we are not making the desired progress. We are facing with more what I call challenges. So I just want to quote a report about AI has not killed supply chain management, you know. I mean, previously the thinking was that AI will take over the majority of these tasks done by or what I call carried out by human. But now you can see that a survey by IMD International revealed that the highest priority for supply chain managers was to implement sales and operation planning, a process that requires deep cross-functional collaboration. So the word is again collaboration. So even in a company or an organization, you need to have this collaboration to remove whatever boundaries, hurdles within the organization. What more, if we talk about cross-border, to be successful cross-border, you know, we're talking about different entities, different companies, different setup, different cultures. So you need to collaborate. I mean, just an example, we have this Global Air Cargo Alliance, Africa Logistic Network, Life Logistic Network, FIATA, my friend there, Mr. Alvin, very active in FIATA, you know the value of collaboration. And of course, World Cargo Alliance. And in the maritime sector, International Association of Port and Harbour, you know, IAPH, which is all about coming together to find ways to collaborate. Of course, there will be differences, but still, the bottom line is we can make things better by collaborating. So based on that, there's a new leap. What we call IBF, but it's basically a forum to cater for the need of our corporate members primarily, but it doesn't discount any members who are probably entrepreneurs who are not associated with CILT as corporate members, but they are just individual members, but they're running their own small, medium enterprise. So that is also a potential, you know. Of course, corporate members are our stakeholders if they are keen. Talking about maybe they have better resources, they are better prepared, that kind of thing. And also they are generally key players in the industry. In Malaysia, I think the corporate members of CILT are, you know, almost the who's who of corporate companies in the logistic and transport industry, in the port, you know. So it's a huge opportunity for CILT's next area of growth. So of course, when you build up on this kind of concept, it's like members get members, you know. When you find that being a member of CILT is so valuable, you can benefit it. It will also become a marketing tool for CILT branches to use it, to pull members. You know, we have this to offer. Okay, so it's basically a platform for sharing industry latest needs, requirement, technology, with especially younger and developing members. So in summary, let's say International Business Forum, after so much deliberation, Bimba can share with you, can testify with you that our IBF network provides the platform that enables branches to assist their business and corporate members to connect with the real companies with the know-how in the business that branches know and trust. So branches adding value to their members. Maybe it's one of the longest definition for a simple platform, but that's kind of intent and objective that CILT is looking for. So in terms of value creation, we talk about networking, which is already there. It's nothing new, but we want to encourage members or to open the opportunity to move to the next step of collaboration. And with this, we hope we could facilitate these companies or these members to accelerate cross borders for their business expansion. And of course, when in the previous normal, there are a lot of possibilities in terms of new mergers and acquisition. And the other thing is encourage cross-border job opportunities. I think CILT Malaysia previously had implemented this scheme about cross-border training. You know, what I call this internship. You know, we had students doing CILT courses from India coming over to Malaysia to what I call this to be placed in the corporate members companies in Malaysia. So that, I mean, it's already there. The framework is already there. But then, of course, now in terms of COVID, maybe we look at this, what I call this, the need for physical presence. Actually, no. I just want to share, for example, CILT Australia. They are looking at this program to do internship online. This is one of the things that, you know, any members who are interested in seizing this opportunity, go and we can introduce to CILT Australia, for example, to have further discussion. So this is the kind of new opportunities that may not be thought of before. So ideally, what is the big idea? We talk about IBF. Global access and connectivity for CILT members and corporates to develop and grow their business. And of course, by having this kind of ambition or aspirations, we could create strategic partnerships with other like-minded CILT members, corporate members, industry experts, and government agencies. So at the end of the day, we want to know what is it for? I mean, this even the bigger question is, what is it? What is there for me if I join CILT? So the next question, once IBF is moving, well, you have this IBF. If you join CILT, you have a new platform for your business, for example. Business doesn't mean, I mean, all the, what I call this, having big companies, big employees, that kind of thing. But there are many things that now, especially in terms of technologies, you can have, you can start business without having much assets. It's just that, you know, training program, for example, you have one thing, for example, if CILT member in Malaysia have a special training program and from another country, they need that program. Dangerous goods, for example, managing dangerous goods. So you can start the business almost immediately, find a partner, then through IBF, then go off, you can go. So it's basically cross-border ventures. And this concept is nothing new as far as CILT is concerned. The structure is similar to what we have for WILAT and also next generation, where each branch is encouraged to set up their own IBF committee. So again, as to the kind and nature of need for the members should be established at the branch level. IBF just provide you with the resources, with, you know, advice or introduction, that kind of thing. You know, for example, you talk about government trade missions. Government, normally they have trade mission offices all over the world, where we have our embassy or high commission. So normally you will have to go through that process, you know. Probably you have to deal with the bureaucracy, you know. But in terms of being a member of IBF, I don't think we would have that kind of democracy, because we can move fast. Each CILT members, doesn't matter whether they are from Africa, Europe, or Asia, we share the same values. We share many of these skills and competency that we gain through our association with CILT. So the main outcome for IBF is the extent of networking and collaboration between CILT members to further their business interests and strengthen CILT global fraternity. Mind you, I mean, this is talking about cross-border, but it also can happen between corporate members of the same CILT, you know. And now you talk about, for example, we are not allowed to travel interstates. I mean, if it goes for another maybe 6 months, you need somebody to do, you know, between states, you need somebody to assist you in taking care of your business, for example, in the state. Instead of you setting up your own office, you know, which will incur much cost, collaborate with another company, another member. And of course, there'll be, even if you are in the same business, there'll be competition, but hey, come on. Now you look at the shipping lines, you know, shipping lines, they are competing at the same time, they are collaborating in alliances. It's nothing new. No, so we'll be talking about global, what you call this, borderless global. This is the thing, this is the time. So what we are seeking to create, basically the summary of what I mentioned earlier: strategic partnerships, extensive networking, and readily accessibility to governments and their agencies. This refers specifically to, for example, I take CILT Sri Lanka. They know how the system there works. So if a member from CILT Malaysia wants to go there to have a collaboration with another company in Sri Lanka, then that part of what I call this task will be very much easier. Likewise, because you know the nitty-gritty of how to get things approved, what are the requirements. So that is what is meant by readily accessibility. So again, the best in practice, as what Dato has outlined in his 5 focus area, best in practice industry standards. So we want to learn the best from our members. We can share the best in terms of intelligence, data, and information. You know, for example, we talk about 5G now, one of the technology, 5G. If our members across the globe, they have experience using 5G, and maybe if we want to set up another 5G outlet or whatever here, then we can ask them whether this and this. Even we want to buy handphone, I suppose you'll be asking your friend, how good is that brand? How good is that brand? So this we are talking about more a bigger picture. And of course, it's a common platform for discussions, events, employment, and business opportunities. I think in this case, once we have sufficient interest, we will set up this platform, like online platform. We can have a list of expert or subject matter expert listed in that platform. So if you want to have consultation or whatever on any subject, you can just use this facility. We are in fact in the middle of compiling the names of, for example, from webinar speakers. You know, they are obviously quite an expert in their subject. So instead of next year we want to organize the same thing, we are asking who should we go to, who should we invite? Then we already have a list of that. So this is the kind of thing that we would like to create in CILT. So in terms of IBF deliverables, you have the global, and regional business connections, growth in coverage, and ability to seek advice and context to IBF. I mentioned about seeking advice just now, and sharing of best practices, ideas, and information. You know, if you are in certain WhatsApp groups, I think you'll be sharing a lot of news information, you know, especially from other countries. I think our group professor Khairuddin has been, you know, staying up late to read all this from his so many WhatsApp group, you know. Then sometimes he shares, sometimes he just don't want to share. He doesn't want to share. I don't know why he doesn't want to share. But the bottom line is sharing of best practices. So, and then of course, from there you can find out whether there's a new business opportunities. And of course, networks that provide access to information and fellow professionals. So this is just examples of how or what kind of corporate members at other branches. You know, for example, in UK, these numbers was I think last year. You know, it's not been updated, but I just want to give an idea what kind of sector that members are. You know, like rail, manufacturing, retail, logistic operator. You know, so they have like 7 sectors. In China, for example, only 3. But others, there are a lot of things under others. Okay, and we have Sri Lanka. They have a way to what you call this, classify, categorize members as platinum, silver, and media. And the way they have categorized these companies because they have many companies are involved in several sectors. So it depends on, I think in terms of contribution, how much contribution they made, then, you know, they are either platinum or silver. I don't know why there's no gold there, you know, maybe they have reasons for that. Okay, in Malaysia, for example, we have 5 sectors. So logistics, shipping, universities or academic, and colleges. So these are the, so I suppose members in the logistics and shipping are probably have more opportunity to join IBF. Universities, I think they are what I call this, more tied to their regulation in terms of academic education act and all those, but still I believe there are many what I call universities are doing like twinning program and whatever you call it. Is basically collaboration. It's really collaboration. Okay, moving forward. So we hope to consolidate our membership. So at the end of this conversation today, I hope we can start the ball rolling, and Dato has already officiated the formation of IBF Malaysia. You can ask for a more appropriate time. Then we hope to then initiate IBF projects, including the list of subject matter experts. And later on, we could even come to a stage where we have our own web platform or apps, you know. So all graphs are pointing up, not like a recent company going down, all this. So area of interest I mentioned earlier, for example, in training programs, Malaysia is well known for halal. So halal logistics or halal training, halal practices is one of the programs that perhaps members who are conducting training can consider. Dangerous cargo handling, safety, road and transport safety, cargo movement, sea air freight, export import, and new business on sustainability. You know, I just want to mention here that there was this program, a webinar, I think maybe 2 weeks back, what I call this, organized by CILT Sri Lanka, where the use of single plastic was one of the topics. And, you know, the speaker was offering like, you know, we are willing to go if anybody is interested. So if I were in that business, I would jump to it, you know, quickly contacting them and set up. Mr. Chanaka, President of CILT Sri Lanka, is in the audience. I think he is obviously more than happy to assist to facilitate this IBF in Sri Lanka. So that is one of the examples. You can go out now immediately and contact. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about all I have for today. Of course, there's questions, and hopefully I could answer if there's any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. If it's possible, sir, maybe you can take your screen share off. And what we'll do is we'll open the session so that everybody can engage with everyone else, especially in terms of posting any questions to you, sir. So there was one question by Mr. Amit Mittal, and he has asked, how do FCILT members registered in other countries collaborate and contribute in vision and set strategies of the local team? He wanted to know whether there's any platform where fellows can join in and probably collaborate with different branches around the CILT branches around the world.
Okay, thank you to Amit. Is Amit from CILT India?
I believe he is from CILT India, sir.
Yes, CILT India, we have a representative there.
Mr. Amit, you can turn your mic on and your camera on, so you can join us.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was on mute. I did not know that. Sorry. Yes, yes, sir. I'm from India. Actually, I'm registered in India as a fellow member. It's been 7 years I'm working in Malaysia, but then this was first time that this Indian CLT team forwarded this invitation to me actually today, and then I registered it today only. So I was quite surprised that, okay, if there is anything, means any platform where I can get such kind of information, means directly rather than getting routed from the country where you have been registered actually.
Okay, I think this one was discussed some time back, but anyway, that is probably another day. As far as IBF in India, yes, we have Dr. Weni there as a rep. She's a vice president of CILT India. So there is also another person who represents CILT India in this IBF group. So if you can leave your contact number, I will get back to you as to the correct person, the exact person that you may be or you should contact to get this news about IBF.
Sure, thanks. Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Abi. Can I say something?
Yeah, sure, please.
I'm turning off my video because very bad reception here. So I just like to share my personal experience with IBF, and I'd like to tell the rest of the members, audience, IBF member all over the world that this is actually working. Yeah. Many years ago, I made a trip to one of the conference in Macau. I met this young gentleman by the name of Elliot Price. At that time, he was the chairperson of Next Gen International. Yeah. Few years after that, I started my own business, and I knew at that time that he has a logistic company serving Australia and New Zealand. Yeah. So just last year in 2020, I contacted him again, and actually the other way around, he contacted me and said, "Can I take care of their cargo in Malaysia?" Yeah. So so we start collaborating because Elliot is actually representing IBF New Zealand. Yeah. And we have actually been having about 10 jobs now between Australia and Malaysia, and we are working on the 11th job right now. It's a inquiry and quotation stage. We have moved business value around 50 to 60 K Australian dollar, yeah, and a business volume about 10 TEUs, and air freight about 500 CBM, yeah. So I must say this is effective. I wouldn't have done this business between Australia and Malaysia if not because of Elliot in CILT and IBF. Yeah, so I'm vouching to everybody. This IBF is workable. Right now, in fact, last night I've been in contact with Finbar, trying to get a CILT IBF member in UK to assist me in a business inquiry from UK to Malaysia. So if that happens, we're going to start UK soon, yeah? So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faiz. Haji Abi, would you like to add anything?
No, I think the case that is, as I said, is already in progress. You know, although maybe it's small, I believe there are other projects already underway. They're supposed to be part of the pilot project. You know, I was informed that, for example, there are programs on halal training between CILT Malaysia and CILT Indonesia. You know, I know it's still work in progress, but that is the kind of ventures, as I said, we don't have to start with a big asset or big companies, that kind of thing. You can start small.
Can I add a little bit to
Sure.
this whole collaboration? I personally can say the same for myself. I joined CILT in November 2017. Relatively new, you would say, to the CILT family, but it's been an amazing journey, not just in terms of enriching myself, in terms of my knowledge and my networks and all that. It has really enriched the business that I offer to my customers, because now when you network with all these global branches and you're sharing all this information, there is so much more value that you can offer. Like, I run a training company, so that's how I see the value. The other areas of value that has really propped up is how within the network itself, we actually get help. Like, for instance, CILT Malaysia is also working together with the Ministry of Transport, Land and Logistics for the dangerous goods rules for road transport. So in that, it is amazing how how Finbar has helped out a lot by connecting with CILT Ireland, with the experts in this area who have been facilitating us. So like you said, Haji Abi, there's still things in the pipeline. Even in Malaysia, we collaborated with KPX. So it's great. It's been excellent. And I think everybody should really look at the value in this. So thank you very much. Is it okay if we can invite Mr. Finbar, Mr. Finbar Cleary, to come in and say a couple of words? He's our chairperson. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody from Ireland. Abi's presentation and Dr. Razak's introduction says it all. You know, I've nothing really to add in one way. And Abi's slides really, you know, tells you so many opportunities we have. I suppose a lot of us joined CILT because of education and training, but this platform that we have been working on for a little while, we won't say how long, but this is from our president, and he is dedicated, and he has put so much time into it as well to promote this platform. We are giving our branches a wonderful opportunity to help them to attract corporate and business people to their branches. And my background is from the freight forwarding business, and for many years, as you can see by the color of the hair, it's a long time. But I was joined had joined many of these freight networks, and it was all about connecting with business, and we met at conferences. But the difference, I think, with CILT, we have with them, you didn't know the people. We were just a member of a group. But with CILT, I feel we have trusted members. We have a better connection where we have our standards, our international standards, and this is what we are based on. So when we want to connect with corporate members or business members within CILT, we have already a strong platform, and I think it's fantastic that we have these opportunities. And even with Reshma and myself, like we connected up with FAS, we connected up and other members, and it's amazing what we sometimes we know so much up here, but we don't realize what we know. And it's just somebody asks a question, and we can have a response back in even in 2 or 3 minutes, like yesterday with Faz, or maybe it can take a few days. And if Reshma and myself, we built up a great DG webinar, and then it went into Malaysia. Then we also did work with India. So these helps. This helped grow the DG awareness, and and that we have this wealth of knowledge around us, and wealth of connections with business, and everybody is gaining. And let's think outside the box, you know, and we have a great opportunity from really talking business to help one another to grow. The SME world, again, a small business, we don't have the money to go to advertise and have fancy ads on LinkedIn or whatever, but through our network, branches can help local businesses to connect up with other branch business members, and it will help the branch itself to grow, but it will also help the international connection for SMEs. And I thank Dr. Razak for his idea and for the work we put together in, and for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's beginning to come to fruition now, I think. And we have from September to December now, we have the final push, I suppose, to bring freight, to bring business to CILT, and networking and under the digitization and industry 404 tools to facilitate trade. Again, this is our president's focus for his presidency, and let's support him. And he has a very successful last 3 months on the job, and we have the tools. We just need to talk to one another a little bit more, and then progress from there. And this morning, I am really thrilled that we have so many members. We have not even Malaysia, we have people around the world as well tuned into this. So that's telling us, and let's give that message to other branches, and say that it's here. Stop asking too many questions, just go and do the job. You know, we can't, you know, you can only spoon feed a baby for so long, and they get fed up and they do the job themselves. So I think we're finished the spoon feeding. Let's go ahead and do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vinbra. Carry on, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to inform you a few things that I've explored. Number one is there's a company here in Malaysia who has got a contract, and with 4 eastern countries, 4 eastern states in Africa, like Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and all that. They are doing tracking. the system is being developed here in Malaysia, and they are giving it to them, and we have fees to charge. And they don't have to be there. It is here because, it transcends boundaries of countries and continent. You see how technology can work. Recently, I had a presentation to Startup Summit KL 2021, and organized by SOCA. And I told SOCA, a day before I present this paper to you all, I said to them, last night I spoke to one of the international vice president from Nigeria. Okay, his name is Francis. Abi knows it. Now, Francis is operating a e-hailing taxis. He has got, about 20 or 30 cars and all that, and he has a drivers. So I asked them, I asked him, I said, do you have apps and all that? He said, no, can't afford to develop apps in Nigeria. So what do? I'm using Uber platform. So I told SOCA, you have the platform. Why don't you go to Nigeria, okay? And then we negotiate and let a friend of mine and the rest of his colleagues there to use SOCA application in Nigeria. This is where another thing that we can export our technology to Nigeria. The third thing is about halal logistics. I spoke to Mytrans. I hope Mytrans is here because Mytrans is a champion of halal. And I say the whole Africa and the whole Europe and even Middle East, they want to have halal. And for CILT international education, we can only accredit there to transcend and the boundary of our country and continent right to the world, because I said halal logistics, when we handle halal product, which we are not supposed to know what is that the content, because it is by the chemistry department or by the nutritionist and by the religious authority. But how do this halal product being handled? It has to be by halal logistics. And it is a branch of education for everybody in the parts of the world. When they want to handle halal, they also must learn. And we have a diploma program, we have a degree program, we have everything. And I said, Mytrans, this is the time that, you can always go. The other one is the younger generation. I spoke to IB and Finbar a few times. And now I'm working with UMK, their Faculty of Business and Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business. These young people, when they graduate, they are not interested like us, like me and Ramli. Our days when we graduated from university, we want to work with government. That's our first choice. Then the younger people doesn't work with the government anymore. They want to work with the private sector because that can, they get more money. But the present people, not only they don't work with the government and also the corporate, they want to start. And this is where the startup company is important. If startup company here in Malaysia is starting up with Malaysian, now we want IBF, to propagate the idea that if you want to start up company, you start up company not only in Malaysia, but also across the world. And the conduit and the channel will be IBF. They were very interested. So I said, don't wait. And I told people like Razman Hafifi to contact IB and all that, straight away registered. And this SOCA said, you better register as IBF because we are the one who are going to introduce you, right? Then this is government department. The government where I have got and Ramli has got the technologies, the professional technologies. People in Africa, they like that TS, DR, IR and all that, SR or whatever, TPR and all that. Now, Ghana itself now is already big in Tibet. And I said to Malaysian Board of Technology, why don't we go to Africa? We sell this idea of TS. Make them, all those graduates from university in logistics, in technical, in engineering, in whatever, technology and all that, to be what you call a graduate technology, and then later on, nominate themselves, to be elected as a professional technology where they can earn the TS at the post-nominal. I mean, at the not post-nominal, but the pre-nominal and all that. Then you can have that TS, and it is recognized by the Malaysian government. Now, the last one, and I just want to inform Amit Mittal from India. We are now working with the government of India, and also we are going to connect this with IBF. That is a project that I was doing it. I used to do it when I have these land bridge services, train services from Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, right up to Laos. Now, I want to bring that connectivity under MTO, coming all the way from Sri Lanka through the channel to southern India, southern tip India, all the way to Bangladesh, to Myanmar, to across the bridge of River Kwai to Thailand, going to Malaysia, and then cross the Strait of Malacca to Indonesia. And Indonesia has got 17,000 islands. That is why I want to see that CILT India is focusing on MTO, okay, multi-transport operation. This is a big. And I know that it will not completed even if I'm after I leave, if I left the presidency and all that. But let me tell you this: IBF is a big thing for us. From a small, like Naliban, the Naliban from Ghana, he's the next generation chairperson. He said, Datuk Raza, I have got a logistic company. How do I, get someone in Malaysia, to be my partner there when I want to handle? So I said, yes, I have. Faiz is there, to handle it and all that. As simple as collaboration like that to a big connectivity, IBF is the conduit. And why I say it is the most trusted channel, because technology today sometimes will land you in trouble with a scammer and people who pretend to be, someone who really doing it, but at the end of the day, you can lose a lot of millions of dollars, But when you have the conduit, the channel through IBF, I'm pretty sure that, everything should be done in a proper way. So thank you, Reshma, giving me a short time, just to
thank you very much.
Semangat, dah jadi semangat,
Very good. Thank you very much, sir. So we're going to open the floor before we close the session with our president, Haji Ramli's speech. So I'm going to open the floor for about 5 minutes. Does anyone want to say anything? Please go ahead.
If I may share something.
Please go ahead.
Sure. My name is Nara Subramaniam, and honestly, I'm so glad and happy that I was able to join the session today. Really want to congratulate all of you and Dr. Razak and Tonabi. I think I'm so happy to see Tonabi again after quite some time. And honestly, I'm so impressed and enthralled, if I might say. I really appreciate the vision that you all are putting forward here for the IBF. And in fact, if anything, I might say it's a little bit late coming into the day. I wish you would have come in a bit earlier, in fact, but there's never a wrong time. This is the right time. And IBF is definitely going to be a very important aspect of it. Those days, I used to think finance was the fundamental string across the organization. But for a very long time now, I believe that supply chain and logistics in particular really is the string which is important for the organization from the front end to the back end. So I think you're doing a wonderful thing. And I'm very, very sure with the energy that you all are showing in this room, I think is going to be a super success. I just wanted to say that just now when Dr. Razak was talking about this, I did some work with Malaysian University of Science and Technology. I was a program manager where I connected an institute in Nigeria about 3 years ago. And that institute was going to close down when they were having so much a problem there in Nigeria. But just from a simple needs analysis, we found out and connected both the MUST and them. And we started doing the Masters in Supply Chain program conducted by the MUST from here. That means they fly the lecturers there online and also something local. I just want to say they finished the second batch of 25 times 2, almost 50 graduates. And that's actually gone on very well. So I believe we have a lot to offer in terms of cross-border and international collaborations. And so I want to congratulate all of you, and any way that we can all join hands together to make this success, I would like to offer my services as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nara. Anybody else would like to share?
Yes, Warith here from Oman. First of all, I'm very honored to be invited to this, and I'm very glad that I could join. It's been very useful. I think IBF is a really new pillar that CILT can actually carry out. I think education is well known, training is well known, networking is well known, but IBF is a huge potential. A lot of companies need to work together, collaborate together. And in this kind of situation right now, which is the COVID-19, as Abi has said, sometimes you cannot reach other countries, even if you wanted to. So I think connecting with the branches which are already there, the infrastructure that CILT has, would be a fantastic a way forward, or at least a value add to the current network. 35,000 members is a big number, and so many different countries. And this CILT is the true multinational, in terms of connectivity and diversity and etc. So I'm very for it, and thank you all, Reshma, Abi, Dato, and all the other people who've actually made this happen, and Fembra, who's our leader for the region. We'd like to thank them all. So I think it's a collective effort and a fantastic session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warith. Would anyone else like to share? So I got an interesting WhatsApp just now from Mr. Elvin Chua. He has just confirmed in his WhatsApp to me that he's joining CILT as a corporate member, so he can be part of IBF as well. So that's great news.
Can I add a little?
Sure, Naliban, please go ahead.
Thank you, Reshma. I think this comes at a very opportune time, and it's from all the deliberations that have gone on. I personally have gotten a better understanding as to what exactly the IBF hopes to achieve, and this is actually a fantastic platform because it goes beyond national borders. One thing I'd also want to do is probably find a way by which we can take this even lower, because a lot of young professionals or next generation members also are starting businesses. I can speak about some of them in Tanzania, some of them in Rwanda, Ghana, Nigeria. And I believe that this would be something that other people in other regions are also very interested in. So I'd like to thank all of you for this opportunity to be able to be part of the IBF. And then I also look forward to the various opportunities and the synergy that this brings to all of us. I love it because it's all in the spirit of Stronger Together. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Naliban. That's very nice to know that exactly we have to engage with the next generation as well. After all, that's where Dr. Razak was talking about, where the startups generally are, right? So if there's anybody else who would like to share anything. If
Reshma,
no, yes.
Mr. Wujangi, where is he from?
Mr. Naliban?
I'm from Ghana.
Oh, from Ghana. I saw the name. I wasn't sure. At first I thought it was Sri Lanka. When I read it again, oh, you're from, okay, all right. Excellent, excellent, Mr. Ujangi.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Prof, would you like to share anything?
No. If you allow me, then I will.
Yeah,
take another 1 hour.
unfortunately, exactly.
So-
We may have to then tell Prof to stop.
I just want to make sure that everybody, my comment is, I just want to thank everybody. It is a very tiring afternoon. I'm also at the same time working on my slides, but it has been wonderful to be with all of you. That's from me to everyone.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. So we actually planned for the session to last for an hour, and I think it's stretching a little bit.
Yeah,
Now it's been an hour, 21 minutes. So I would like to now invite our president of CILT Malaysia, TS Haji Ramli, to come on. Sir, can you please take the mic, sir, and do a closing for us so we can then say bye and move on forward with our next sessions for IBF.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rashma. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. A very good morning, a very good afternoon, and a very good evening, perhaps in some areas. It is a pleasure, actually, once again to be involved in a forum such as this. We at CILT Malaysia warmly welcome you to explore on opportunities that might knock on your door as a result of this type of forum. I thank Datuk Razak, our CILT International President, who had been a fantastic ambassador for Malaysia, for all the excellent work he had done in coming up with best practices and solutions to fit into the present challenges that we are facing. To Tuan Haji Abi, we thank him for his very industrious approach at supporting the call for an important role of the IBF to members and organizations alike in trying to create a platform where we can place our hope in trying to resolve whatever issues that comes to light in these very trying moments. It was a very informative session and very well presented. I hope this can spur collaborations within the industry with CILT as the cog for getting things moving. Things has improved tremendously with IBF since its inception to what had developed today. We will only get better and well networked. Feedback from the so-called floor today speaks how important IBF is going to be. Praise be to God that all of us here in Malaysia are trying our best in contributing to solutions that the situations has brought us into. We need your support as well in meeting these challenges and finding ways to counter it. The introduction of CILT's International Business Forum through business networking comes at a time when the industry need to be together and share common platform in focusing at how we can take advantage of opportunities that may be available to us individually and also to companies collaborating with our International Business Forum of the CILT through a business networking platform. We earlier launched an awareness forum through Zoom session between IBF International and IBF Malaysia in June 2020, with Tuan Haji Abi representing IBF International, and on the 3rd November 2020 with Finbar Cleary, head of IBF International. By December 2020, CILT Malaysia Council members had been exposed to this IBF awareness program. From then on, IBF Malaysia Focus Group had started to spread its wings by holding various programs. It started with a virtual port tour with Lembaga Pelabuhan Johor, covering Port of Tanjung Pelepas and Johor Port Berhad. This proved to be immensely successful. Next on the card is on Sabah Ports, and to be followed by other organizations such as Lembaga Pelabuhan Kelang, Westport, Northport, Penang Port, Rapid Rail, Malaysia Oil and Gas Services Council, Federation of Malaysian Freight Forwarders, and many more on the pipelines. Face-to-face engagement programs will also be on the card with interviews and reports with organizations from within or out of our fraternity. From here, issues can be highlighted with the view of sharing best practices. Other programs will follow suit. We shall never know what developed from here. Judging from the first virtual port tour program with Johor Port, there are many positive feedbacks that had ushered in as a result. God willing, we are trying our very best to assist in bringing people and organizations together and really hoping that something clicks along the way. In conclusion, for us at CILT Malaysia, we are trying to get as many organizations to be near and get to know us for our role in the society. Being an umbrella of professionals in the industry, we are duty-bound to serve the industry and the society at large in promoting logistics, transport, and the supply chain in improving our state of the economy currently as part of our contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, do get in touch with us for any issues that you may have. We really hope we can be of help to everyone. To our CILT Malaysia state and regional sections, do act in tandem with plans mooted and initiated from central so that we can have things moving locally. I congratulate our Sabah section for having quickly reacted by appointing a very experienced, seasoned person in Dr. Oh Esun. I think he's here today. Hopefully, Dr. Oh, we can generate something from there quickly, knowing that Sabah is well endowed with international linkages as a logistic hub for both passenger and cargo traffic. So guys, stay tuned to our webinar channel, and thank you again for your time today. Stay safe always. Thank you very much. Back to you, Rashma.
Thank you very much, sir. And I would like, all of us would like to thank our international president. Thank you very much, Dato' Razak, for joining us, for officiating the event today. And thank you so much, Finba, for joining us all the way from Ireland, waking up very early to join us today and to share the vision for IBF. And of course, Haji Abi, for giving us that excellent insight on the value that can be derived from IBF. Today, our chairperson for Malaysia, heading the IBF Malaysia section is Encik Faiz. And Encik Faiz, unfortunately, is not able to formally join us because, you know, he's attending to his parents. They're in hospital and he's attending to that. Now, we will keep you informed moving forward what we have organized and how we can all engage together. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. We will have this available on CILT Malaysia's YouTube channel as well. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Good day and have a great weekend ahead. Stay safe, everyone. Stronger together. stronger together.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Haji
Tuan Haji
Ramli.
Nasir, akan
Thank
baru
you.
baru nampak you, Tuan Haji Nasir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dato' Amin. Thank
Great
you very
session.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well
you.
done,
Yeah,
well done.
thank you very much, Dato'.
Dato' Amin,
Thank you,
Thank
Mbak.
you, Petrus,
Thank you.
Julia,
Bye.
Anna,
Thank you.
Chatka, Marina from Central
On
Asia.
Reshma, maybe you want to take a picture. I'm not sure if for your
Yes, I'm
records.
going to. I'm going to take. I've been taking a lot, but I'm going to take some more because
Yes,
Okay,
now everyone
smile.
is a bit
everyone.
relaxed.
Yes, please, everyone. Hi, Chanaka.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, if
Naliban.
everyone wants to put their
Yeah,
their
I
camera on,
mentioned
would be
your name
great.
just now.
Yes, please. I did hear. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks for joining, Chanaka.
Marina, where's your
My pleasure,
face?
Abi.
Yeah, Marina, show your
Marina
face.
photo.
Marina Kusnesh from
Marina and Juliana is also
Juliana.
here.
Mana Ibu
Yeah.
Juliana tak nampak mukanya? Mana ada?
Yeah,
Mana
where's
Ibu?
Juliana?
Ibu
Sama
Juliana mana?
Juliana Sofia.
Muhammad
Mana?
Rozali,
Dia
Saza,
ni.
Ina,
Ni Dr.
Yes.
Osman.
Indonesia.
Dato' Amin.
Malaysia.
Amin ada.
Baru nampak Ibu Juliana. Baru
there
nampak.
you
Dr. Indonesia.
Dr. Osman.
Nah, Dr. Osman.
Okay, smile. I want to sprint screen.
Yeah, please.
Dato' Amin.
Where Dr. Amin?
I'm here. I'm here.
Sir,
Please,
we can't
please.
see you.
Yeah,
Your hand
please.
is blocking your view.
Yeah.
There you go.
1, 2, 3, smile.
Smile, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, Richard Butler also here from Ireland. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank
Okay,
you very
bye,
much.
everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to all.
Thank you.
Wish you all a nice weekend.
Really.
Bye-bye.
Glad
Bye.
to see you all.